Anyways, welcome, and we are here. So, as you know, today is our June 4th release. We are continuing the celebration. If you haven't seen what released last month, I recommend you hop over to this shop and check it out. We had a lot of new birthday ephemeras, 2 new birthday ephemeras popped out. We had also a Under the Lanterns ephemera. That one was released. They all go with the windowscapes. But we decided to expand our celebration and add a few more fun items before heading into our fall and Halloween releases, which will be coming up in August. So I do want to take a little bit of time and tell you all about how we do things here at This Calls for Confetti. So let me introduce myself first. Let's do that first. My name is Lisa. I am the owner, along with my husband Aaron, of This Calls for Confetti. Some of you know me from being on design teams just like you, and card making since about 2011, 2012, somewhere in there. And I fell into it just like you guys did. Just happened to know someone who was doing it and just enjoyed seeing the process, and then picking it up myself, and it just happened to be where I think I belong. So here we are, right? Okay, so back to the releases. We don't do monthly releases because, one, you have to have a big budget for release every month, and as of right now, we are not there yet. Another reason is I don't want to release products just to be releasing something. I want it to be something different. I think there are so many wonderful companies already that release so many amazing products that I just don't feel the need to just release to be releasing. That's just not what I'm going to do. If I can stumble across something that's truly unique, like Bigfoot, then, and I think there's space for it in the card making industry, then that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to run with it. And he has been huge for us, which was pleasantly surprising, right? Like, I was so happy that you all loved him so much. Because honestly, that was, I was a little bit nervous. I was like, is it going to be well received? But it was, and I'm so grateful for that. But so just know that you won't, right now, I'm not going to say that that won't change in the future because we are growing. But as of right now, we are not going to be releasing every single month. So we have our June 4th release. We won't be releasing in July, but we are going to continue to bring you inspiration to work with the products that you've previously purchased from us. We do try to do that a little bit different with our releases. We're putting together, if anyone's interested, a new release team, and that team is going to work closely with me to prepare for our releases, make samples for the releases, video content for that. And then we have a follow-up team that comes in the very next month and shows you all of their amazing inspiration. And we're working it around to where the third month we'll have guest designers follow up and bring you more inspiration, because we feel like that is one area that we want to shine. We really want to show you how you can take your products and get the most out of them. Like, you don't always have to be buying when you have a craft room full of supplies. Let's get those supplies out and let's start making good use of them, right? So that's what our hope is here at This Calls for Confetti. So with that being said, now that I've shared the secrets about why we do month to month or not doing month to month, let's talk a little bit about designing. I am fairly new to the design process, and this is going to take us into something and you're going to be like, what? So I'm fairly new to the designing process. The stamps and the dies and the stuff like that, the coordinating dies, outline dies, those all are pretty simple for me to do, no problem. However, when it comes to creating layering die sets that have small, tiny pieces that you put together to create these beautiful things like you see from all the other companies, I am new to figuring that out, and sometimes we hit it out of the park, and other times we land on something that just does not work. And we have one of those beautiful mistakes that we're going to be sharing with you guys when I flip over to the down view. And instead of pushing it as a product that is amazing and can do this, this, and this, I'm going to be straight up with you and tell you what I had planned for this. It worked digitally. It was beautiful when I would do things with it in a digital format, but it does not translate to real life crafting. We have 300 of these sets, and they're going to be free because there are products in here that you can use. But what my initial plan for this was just does not play out well. So I want to be very upfront with you. I want you to know that, hey, sometimes there are going to be things that we do and we're like, well, that just didn't work out the way we wanted it to, right? So I'm going to share that die set with you. And yes, if you make a purchase, you're going to get the die set for free because there are some pieces in there that you can use to do balloons. And then some of the pieces make amazing moons. I'm just saying, and you could do a really cute Halloween card or something like that with it, but we'll get into more of that. I just wanted to be upfront with you about sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't, right? But what I never want to do, and I discussed this with my husband, Aaron, was I never want to take a product that I feel is not 100% amazing and push that and be like, oh, no, 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 that's it. It'll work. It'll work. No, no, we're never going to do that here ever. We're going to be honest with you and say it's a flop, but there are pieces here that are usable. Here it is for free. Take it and use it, or donate it to somebody. It doesn't matter, right? So with that said, oh, I do wanted to also tell you guys to be sure that you're joining us over on Instagram because we are having a blast over there with the repeat offender hop. We're giving away 2 gift certificates to the store. Plus, there were some posts that if you left a comment, your name will be, you could win a certificate off of those. One of those was a gift certificate for a premium membership to Mustache. Our products are coming to Mustache, and we are so excited to be partnering with them, if I can get it out. So yeah, be sure you join us over there for the repeat offender hop. And we will also be doing a hop in July for Christmas in July. So that's upcoming. So always be sure you're checking us out on Instagram. And also, don't forget about the Glitterati group because we have our monthly mood board challenge there where you can stand to enter and maybe win from that as well. There was one other thing I was going to mention to you guys, and I don't remember what it was. Okay, well, if I think of it, I will mention it. And right now, I'm going to switch you over to the tabletop, and we're going to start looking at these new products and some samples and just talk about things. So here we go. Okay, so I'm switching you over now, and here is the beautiful disaster. That's what we're going to call it, a beautiful disaster. Okay, so this was supposed to be a fun die set that you could create balloon arches with, right? And what I wanted to do, I'm going to flip it over. If you flip the package over, you can see how it's shaded here and then it's lighter here. And that's was the whole idea of this die set, was to be able to build this shaded area and this area. And that's why you see these cut here. it just does not play well in real life. Digitally, it works like a dream, but in real life, it just did not work the way we wanted it to. However, with that said, these dies here and this die and that die there, along with these pieces here, create the cutest balloons. These are the highlights for the balloons. I'm going to show those to you real quick because I have a sample right here beside me. This is the balloons, and you can see it has the highlights there. And then you can also cut out the little pieces. Oops, sorry about that. You can cut out the little pieces here. I'm going to put my other glasses on so I can see. Okay, so we have a stamp set that released today called Celebrate that has these little streamers in them along with this sentiment that you can use these die cut balloons with that stamp set if you want to. Now you can see here that these make great moons. You could also do some really fun designs with these. It's not a complete fail. It's just not 100%, and I just cannot put it out knowing that even I wasn't happy with it, right? So I said, nope, we're just going to let this be a freebie. So if you make a purchase, you do get, it's a $30 purchase, you do get this for free. So we're going to go ahead and set that to the side. And while I have this here, we're going to talk about this background that you see, which is our new embossing folder that released today called Happy Swirls. It does kind of have like a wave look to it, but I really didn't want to call it waves or anything. To me, it reminds me of like air. What I would imagine the movement of air would be, right? So I decided Happy Swirls because, well, it is happy. Okay, so I do love our embossing folders. We have more on the way that we'll be releasing in our fall and Halloween. You're going to see some truly unique embossing folders come fall and Halloween. I'm excited for them. So this is Happy Swirls, and it just released today. It does this amazing background. I was going to see if I had another sample over here that had more of it. Yes, this one. Here we go. So I don't know if that's picking up on camera or not, but it really is a pretty background. It adds just the right amount of texture and a little bit of detail to it there. So, and the balloons here are from our new Celebrate stamp set, which I'm going to show you in just a minute. So Happy Swirls embossing folder. It is a 5x7 folder, but you need to know when you look at an embossing folder that it's a 5x7 from edge to edge. The design is a little bit smaller, so you'll see there's a little bit of a space around the whole folder. So the actual embossing folder is 5x7, but the design is a little bit smaller. It's 4 3/4 by about 6 and 6 3/4, somewhere in there. Okay, so let's move into our next products, which we have here. This is our Celebrate stamp set, and we have a coordinating die set. Can you guys see that okay? If you can, just give me a thumbs up. Oh, that's cool. So, okay. So with this, we have the large Celebrate word. And in here, you actually have 2 dies for that. So you're going to have the first die cuts out the whole word, and then you have a shadow die that goes along with it. We have the streamers, and we did these a little bit different. I like this one here the most because it gives you the option to do like 5 balloons. So you get a big bouquet of balloons. And then this one is a bouquet of 3. And then you have some really fun sentiments that are a little bit different. It's your day. This is huge. You did the thing. The best is yet to come. Hooray, yay, and celebrate. And then we have these fun little extra stamps for you to decorate your balloons with, which I love these little sparkly ones. I used them on this card here. You can see that there. So I stamped these with the solid balloons, and then I die cut them out and then did the celebrate along with the 5 streamers. I just love this configuration. I think it's so pretty. So I know balloons are not really like balloons have been done, right? We know the balloons have been done, but I just thought we would do our take on balloons because, well, we all need a good celebration stamp set, and balloons are great for everyone. I love balloons. They're just so happy, right? Okay, so that's our celebrate stamp and coordinating dies. So let's move into this happy little thing. Oh man, I am in love with this die set. You can do so much with this die set. I did not realize that I was going to have so much fun using this die. Man, have I had a blast with it. So many things you can do with it. I have 4 samples right here that I want to share with you. So the first thing I'm going to show you though is how this cuts out. So when you go to build your banner, you're going to cut this piece here. This is what you build this on, which is this piece here. So you can see there that it's going to be so easy. So this is one die, and it's going to cut all of these out at one time. So what I do is I just pick the colors that I want to use, and then I run it through the die machine to cut it out, and then I build a bunch of different banners at one time, and then I'll have them on hand. This small one here is for the little pieces across the top. And they line up easy. You can see that this is the smallest one. It lands right over here in this corner. So usually when I'm doing it, I'll keep them lined up. So I'll cut these and then I'll lay them out how they go on here. I'll cut the next color. I'll lay them out how they line up on this. And I do the same with the small one. And I just love the way it makes it so easy to just go boom, 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 and you're done building your banner. So that's how I do it. And then if I have leftovers, I just toss them in here like this. And then if I want to build another one, I'll just grab my little container of extra pieces and build another one. Let me see. Here's a sample of this with our birthday ephemera and our window scape die. And you can see it was actually made to go with the windowscape die, but you can do so much more with it than that. But I just love the way that it looks with the ephemera and the windowscape. So I have another sample to show you with the windowscape and the spring balcony die set. This is great for 4th of July. So I did this background with our star stencil and ink blending, and then I used our arch dies to build that out a little bit, and the navy for the windowscape die, and I did some gold splatter. And this is a background that I had sitting in a container, and I just grabbed it out real quick and tossed this on there. And then I did some simple die cutting with the spring balcony set, kept my flowers white because I knew I wanted this to be red, white, and blue. And you can see right here, this die set actually has these 3 little dies. They look like slices of cheese, which you could use them for slices of cheese. But you can either use them on their own like I did here with the white, or you can overlay them the red and the blue, and then it'll have a little design on it. It's so cute. And the little circles pop out when you die cut it. So you can actually make this like a red banner with a white polka dot on it. So it's such a fun little set. I mean, there's so much you can do with it. So if you guys are following along over on Instagram, and you've probably seen this sample I created, and all I did was use this whole banner set, and then I just cut that top part off to create these banners. But this really shows you the little white pieces that you can cut out, and then how I use them to create the polka dots on the navy. This little banner set just makes me so happy. And I have another sample here. So I just used our Hello elongated die, and then I did a split stenciling here, the stars and then the stripes, and then laid that back in. Used our plaid builder and foiled with our plaid texture plate. This is a Christmas die set that I use, the Happy Holidays die set. I use that along with our Happy Sentiment stamp set and created this 4th of July card. And then of course we have that red, white, and blue banner again. So there's so much you can do with this. I cannot wait to use this banner with our birthday cake, the stencil bundle, the 3-tier stencil bundle. I can't wait to try that with that. I think it's going to be great. It's such a great little die set. Let me see if I have, I think that's all the samples I have on that one. I do have some other samples over here. I'm going to show you using other things at the end, but I'm going to go ahead and move into our next product, which is, some of you have already seen this and purchased it. How many of you have seen the Pen and Plan die? So this is a solution to the Pen and Plan die, because as I created the Pen and Plan die, I love the Pen and Plan die, but I realized there was room for improvement. So the very first thing I noticed when I was using the Pen and Plan die was that I didn't want to use the whole die to cut out one piece of pattern paper. That I would rather have some dies that would let me cut out small pieces, maybe even scrap pieces of pattern paper, so I wasn't wasting my paper, right? So here we have 5 dies. These 5 dies cut out for the areas on the Pen and Plan die. And this is one piece, because I don't like to try to keep track of all these little tiny pieces. So I made this one solid die, and then you can cut multiples. Like if you want to cut it with a red, white, and blue theme, cut your red paper, then your blue paper, and then you have extras if you want to use them for something else. Also in this set comes the stencils. So this stencil here is the complete Pen and Plan, and you can use this to quickly ink blend. You can use it to help you place things. That's why I love stencils like this, because you can use them as a placement guide when you're working with a die. So there's a couple of different things that you can use this for. Then if you want to do different colors, so this would be all one color if you were stenciling with this maybe, right? But what if you wanted to do different colors? And I don't know how many of you have seen this amazing sample that my bestie made, Alana. She showed in our last live, she showed how to create this, and how using this laid down on your cardstock and then bringing this in to do the different colors allows you to mask these areas off, so you don't have to worry about masking tape, and it makes it so easy to do this multicolored ink blending. So I love this set. Okay, we didn't forget about these either. We have those right here for you. So what I did was I did 4. So if you want to do some different colors, you don't have to worry about picking it up and moving it. You can ink blend it. And then this one's protected. We protected that one and that one. And then you have the 3 on this side that you'll come in with after you ink blend the 4, and come in and ink blend those and not have to worry about masking that off. She also did this fun sample for Halloween. I think my girl was in the Halloween spirit when she was here crafting. I love it. So again, she used multiple colors on this one, and then the silhouette stamps from our Windowscape Halloween set she used with this. It's just a great way to show you how you can pull your products out and mix and match and make some really fun, cool cards. So that is our pin and plan stencil and die bundle. You remember you get the 5 dies and the 3 stencils in this bundle, and it does coordinate with that pin and plan die. Now, let me say this. If you don't have the pin and plan die, you could easily just pick this up and get the same end results, right? But for those who already have it, this is a great tool to add on, because you get the dies, you get the stencils, and it just makes it so much easier. And I really do not like wasting pretty pattern paper. And I felt like the first time I cut with the pin and plan that I was like, wait a minute, we need to rethink this, right? Because we're using this whole piece of pattern paper when we could just maybe be using scraps or just a small piece of it. So that's where this came into. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes you create a product and you don't realize all the possibilities until you actually have it in your hand and you're working with it. And then these things start to come out and we end up with add-ons. So, but yeah, I love that set. It's a lot of fun. It adds a lot of, it gives you more options with your other set as well. Okay, so we have one more product in this release, and I'm sure some of you remember last release we did our first embossing folder, Diamond Trellis. You probably saw this during our Halloween hop. This is what led to our next product. So I created this card. And while I was here crafting with Alana, I was like, oh, you know what? I have some masking tape. That's the width of the white. I'm going to mask this off. And as I was masking all of it off, I said, we need a stencil. So we have a stencil. This was a very last minute addition to this release, but we made it happen. And once you emboss with the diamond trellis, this lines up over the design so that you can ink blend it. I've got 2 samples here to share with you. Here's one that I did, and you can see it lines up. You just ink blend over it and then you're done. It's so easy. I love that. That's another example of how creating one product might lead you later, once you start working with it, to say, oh, we need this to go with that, right? And so you'll see more products rolling in as I'm working with things and saying, oh, you know, this would be so cool if we had this to go with this, right? That's just how it's going to be done here. And I think there's something to be said for that, because the easier it is to work with your products, the more you're going to want to use them, right? So if I'm working with something and I realize, oh, a stencil would be so much easier than this masking, then absolutely, we're going to do a stencil. And I'm sure there are going to be some people that are like, why didn't you think of that while you were creating the embossing folder? Because sometimes my brain is so full of so many things that it just doesn't hit me while I'm sitting in front of my computer designing. It doesn't hit me until I'm actually working with the product, right? And so that's just I just have so much in my head. It's too much some days, right? Anyways, I love this stencil, and I do love how easy it is to color inside the diamonds with that stencil. And then to create this gold, I just took my ink pad and ran it across there lightly. Yeah, so I love that. So that's our June 4th release. I'm pretty happy with it. I am super excited for you guys to see what's coming in August, and I am so excited for Halloween. That's our jam. That's what we love. Okay, so let's look at a few more samples. So I showed you these samples already with the balloons. And this sample here is one of my favorites. This is the balloons, and this is with our Lattice Luxe foil plate and our lattice stencil. And so the stencil is actually, you can use it to color in the shapes here, the diamond shape there. But if you offset it, you get this really cool kind of argyle-like pattern. I think it is absolutely stunning. And it's one of my favorite products that we have because I love a good foiled background and add stencil to it. And it is just chef's kiss. I'm telling you, I love it. And the balloons. And then, of course, our fancy frame layering dies. I love these too. And that's how I created that. So, okay, so that's all the samples I have to share with you. I'm going to go ahead and flip back over to Face and chat for a few minutes, and then we'll wrap this up. Okay, there we are. I'm going to switch glasses so I can actually see the screen and try to read some comments if I can, which I can't promise you I can, because I'm blind and my computer's too far away. I will go back over the comments and look at them again, read them and reply to them. I appreciate you guys so much for pivoting and joining us over here. I'm sorry that we had the streaming demons after us today. That's what I call them. It just was like not happening. And so I was like, well, I had already gone live on YouTube. And then we were like, no, Facebook. So I went to go to Facebook. It was like, yep, nope, not happening. So we said, well, let's hop back over to YouTube because we know we can go live here. Oh, let's talk about lives. Let's talk about how in July, we're talking about doing lives. I want to say, Carrie, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm thinking Thursdays are the days that I see someone is... Okay, so Thursdays are the days that I think we're discussing going live, and I think Carrie and I are talking about switching it up every other Thursday, and we want to start doing lives and showing you guys how to use products, create with us, chat with us, all the things. I guess my question is, do you prefer lives during the day or do you prefer them in the evening? Let us know in the comments there because we do have plans to start going live. I do think that I'm going to continue to, when I do go live with these release videos, that we're going to do them here on YouTube in the future because it's just easier. It was so much easier for me to sign on to YouTube and start live streaming than it is to do it on Facebook. So I'm going to say that we're always going to be live streaming here on YouTube. So yeah. So I see someone said, oops, sorry, during the day. Yes, the stencil is, yeah, the stencil can be used with the embossing folder and it can be used on its own. Also with the lattice stencil, it can be used with the Lattice Luxe foil plate or it can be used as a standalone product. I love when I have a product that I can use for on its own or with another product. I think to me that's it's just smart. It saves you money, really, when you think about it. And anytime I can make a stencil and a die set bundle, I love that because I just let me have it together, right? Don't make me buy them separately. I like them together. So that's one of the reasons that I did that. The same thing with our shaker pouches. That was one of the things that I've said about our shaker pouches is that I love being able to use a shaker pouch. It's easy, but can I have the dies to cut the window out and cut the back to cover the shaker pouch? Because I mean, that just makes it so much easier, right? So that's the reason that we have our shaker pouches with the dies and two separate dies. It just makes things easier. Yeah, I love being able to pull out something for Christmas and create something for another holiday, right? Like our Shine Bright. I should have shown you guys. Well, I can show you right here. Our Shine Bright, you might have seen it on Instagram today. So our Shine Bright stamp set it was created for Christmas, but when I was creating that stamp set, I was like, you know, this could be used for Valentine's Day. It could be used for 4th of July. So we added hearts and we added stars in there for light bulbs other than just, you know, round or regular holiday light shapes. And I did this 4th of July card with it. With the stars, and then again mixing those products, the Happy Sentiments stamp set, the Happy Holidays die set, just mixing products together to make a card. I love doing that. I like it. It's almost like a challenge for me. See how much I can use, right? So yeah, that's Shine Bright stamp set. It's a lot of fun because you can use it for Valentine's Day. So also, if we are wanting to find a couple of people who can design, if you guys happen to know anybody who is interested and knows about design work, let us know. We would love to chat with them. And let's see, was there anything else I was going to mention during this live? I don't think so. I think that's pretty much it for today. Really do appreciate you guys joining in. And again, if you have questions, like I said, I'm so far away and my laptop is small that I can't see a lot of the comments just right now, but I will look back over them and I will answer any that need to be answered. And so if you have questions, just drop them in the comments and then I will do my best to answer those. If there's anything else, I won't hold you guys up because I know you probably want to get to your craft rooms and get busy crafting. I know I do, but first I have to go move the sprinklers around the yard. So I really do appreciate you guys for hopping over here and joining us. Know how much we appreciate you all so much. Without you, this Calls for Confetti would not be what it is. It wouldn't be. You guys are the reason that we're here, and we just love you and appreciate you so much. So thanks for joining us. And I hope that you guys have the rest of the week is great and you have a great weekend. And I'm going to wrap it up and I will chat at you all later. Thanks so much for joining me.